Amidst the sprawling canvas of the military camp, where the ordered chaos of soldiers preparing for battle hummed like a beehive on the eve of a summer storm, Emperor Constantine stood outside his pavilion under the muted radiance of a somber day. His gaze roved over the labor of his legions. The feeble sun, scarcely breaching the dense clouds intermingled with the smoke that ascended from the numerous campfires, diffused a faint gleam upon the Roman standards. The banners of Rome hung limp, their feeble fluttering scarcely stirred by the chilled winds of the day. Soldiers bustled ceaselessly, dashing to and fro, burdened with supplies, while horses toiled, pulling carriages through the terrain now turning into mud. The essence of earth, leather, sweat, cooking food, and the subtle whiff of oil intertwined in the air, bearing witness to the ongoing preparations. Amidst this tumult, one could hear the polyphony of voices, laughter, the resonance of wooden wheels, and the symphony of blacksmiths' hammers tirelessly mending swords, shields, spearheads, and the rhythmic cadence of equine hooves shaping an audible tapestry that bordered on cacophony, enough to bewilder the uninitiated. Yet for Constantine, raised in the towering shadow of the legions, this resonating clamour was a familiar refrain, a testament to meticulous order unfolding before him. The whole camp is a living organism, he thought to himself, watching the action. It felt as though this vast and unwieldy behemoth could, at any given moment, rouse itself from the earth and startle forward like a colossal tortoise foraging for food. A thought stirred within him, born of whimsy, as a sly smile graced his face. Where might this behemoth venture, I wonder? Rome, without a doubt, he mused. Casting his gaze toward the south, in the direction of the eternal city beyond the horizon and across the Tiber River, Rome resembled another unwieldy beast, akin to Constantine's sprawling camp. Yet it languished beneath the weight of its existence, weakened by Emperor Diocletian's reforms and subsequent abdication. The construct of tetrarchy, intended to bring stability by partitioning the empire into more manageable domains, paradoxically led to disarray as the quartet of emperors now vied for supremacy. Time appeared to stand still, a once mighty realm ensnared in the clutches of a bygone era, frail and ill-suited to confront the challenges of the dawning century. Amidst the encampment, facing Rome, Constantine pondered his rival Maxentius, who boldly declared himself Augustus within the chaos. Maxentius, son of Maximian, embodied usurpation, leveraging his aristocratic background to ruthlessly claim the throne and emerge as the unchallenged ruler amid civil strife. Amidst the embers of civil conflict, Constantine, through his steadfast ascent, became the sole contender to depose Maxentius. In close proximity to Rome's gates, a mere few miles away, Constantine saw a destined opportunity. Earlier this morning, in the imperial pavilion, generals and commanders had gathered to discuss their strategy. Scouts reported that Maxentius fortified the Tiber's crossing near the Milvian Bridge, erecting ramparts, ditches, and barricades, complicating any attempt to cross. Maxentius, preparing for battle rather than siege, positioned his troops beyond the city confines. The generals were urging to attack the next day. "It must come to pass tomorrow, Your Excellency," one of the generals proclaimed sagely. "Our legions are ready, and the adversary will advance if we delay." "So be it," affirmed Constantine. "Marshal your forces. We attack in the morning." The generals dispersed, giving orders throughout the camp. For Constantine, his father's legacy and the duty of command were ingrained. On the verge of the impending clash at the Milvian Bridge, he embodied the martial traditions of Rome, contemplating the ripple he would make in the ebbs and flows of history. Beyond the camp, adjacent to the encampment of doctors and priests, Constantine observed a place of worship. While not deeply religious, Constantine acknowledged the potency of faith, and seeking a moment of solace, he approached the shrines in the spacious clearing, where a handful of soldiers prayed and congregated amidst this diverse array of idols. The entire pantheon seemed to have convened here. An ivory-seated Jupiter, surrounded by an offering of silver coins and semi-precious tokens presented by devout worshippers. In an alcove nearby, a statue of Mars, brandishing a diminutive copper sword, basked in the warm glow of numerous candles. Silver Venus, adorned with flowers and, notably, her unveiled bosom, appeared to be the recipient of heartfelt tributes, perhaps in honor of loved ones. Apollo, graced by a ring of arrowheads in assorted sizes, commanded a dedicated presence. An iron statue of Vulcan had gathered an assortment of metal trinkets. An alabaster bust of Cybele was accompanied by bread rolls wrapped in red fabric and clay vessels brimming with wine. The centerpiece of this congregation was Sol Invictus, the resplendent sun god of the Roman Empire. He loomed proudly upon a pedestal with his hands raised to the sky, bedecked with gold coins and glistening jewelry, bestowing majesty upon his diminutive golden form. Unlikely to be made of gold, Constantine mused as he moved in for a closer inspection. Probably paint or a gold leaf. While scrutinizing the statue, Constantine spotted his lieutenant, Alexander Orestes, strolling past the shrines with his familiar stride. The emperor beckoned to his comrade. "Alexander, my dear friend," Constantine inquired, "to which of these gods do you offer tribute? Cybele, perhaps? Or the one you call Zeus?" Alexander Orestes smiled, approaching Constantine. As he drew near, he examined the Sol Invictus statuette and scratched his golden head, revealing rough stone underneath. "No tribute to any of these, Your Excellency. Dead gods, as lifeless as stones," Alexander explained. "You don't honor the gods of your ancestors? My forebears ceased worshipping these figurines centuries ago. I was raised venerating the living God who saves our souls and liberates our hearts." "Does he have a shrine here?" Constantine queried, losing interest in the now tarnished Sol Invictus. "Not exactly a shrine, just a small space where I find solitude with him," Alexander replied cautiously. Constantine surveyed the surroundings. "Could you show me?" "I can, Your Excellency." "No need for such formalities here. Take me to your place of worship." With a hint of hesitation, Alexander examined his companion and consented. "Fine, follow me. But I don't worship, I pray." Away from the shrines, they ventured into the wooded expanse, a silent pilgrimage led by Alexander. In silence, they ascended a modest mound. At the top, the thick canopy of trees yielded to a tranquil glade adorned wildflowers. Nestled in the heart of this sanctuary was a large moss-laden stone. Encircling the glade, youthful evergreen saplings exuded the musky perfume of resin. In the midst of the expanse, where the tapestry of nature intertwined with the delicate blossoms, a humble wooden cross stoically held its ground, an unpretentious sentinel in the midst of sublime simplicity. "I pray here," Alexander murmured after a contemplative pause. In the presence of this sacred tableau, Constantine was transported beyond the impending tumult of battle. The serene surroundings assuaged his heart, and the sight before him stirred profound emotions. The sight of the cross evoked memories of his devout Christian mother, Helena. In this sacred haven, he was momentarily transported to a realm of innocence, safety, and peace. His gaze, transfixed upon the cross, yearned for an eternal moment. If only he could keep his eyes on it, the moment would unfurl into the infinite, a ceaseless continuum, and his essence would intertwine with the sacred symbol of the cross and will forever free him from the imminent war, the mire, the smoke of fires, and the spectre of death that loomed. "I command many Christian soldiers, and when the opportunity arises, they find solace in prayer here," continued Alexander. "Maxentius is extinguishing the lives of our Christian brethren, subjecting them to stonings and gruesome fates in the gladiatorial games for mere entertainment." "Diocletian and his successor Galerius pursued similar atrocities," replied Constantine. "Maxentius must be overthrown. Many of my soldiers stand not merely to fight, but to safeguard our faith. None perish for worshipping Zeus or Apollo. Our brethren perish by the thousands for the name of our Lord and Saviour. We aren't here to fight against flesh, but against rulers and authorities, against the power of this dark world, and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms." In the midst of Alexander's discourse, Constantine found the burgeoning realization that this conflict exceeded mere territorial strife. It surpassed the bounds of a civil war for dominion over Rome. Beneath the ruins of the empire, a nascent force stirred, with fresh shoots ascending towards the illumination of a new epoch. Christianity, to Constantine's discernment, transcended the mere addition of another deity to the overcrowded pantheon. It harbored a multitude of followers, enduring unspeakable brutality for embracing doctrines of love and mercy relentlessly assailed by advocates of the old worldview. Retracing their steps back to camp, Constantine agreed to meet with Alexander's troops. The soldiers, elated at encountering the emperor's genuine interest in their faith and lives, divulged tales of their families and adversities. Constantine, in turn, assured them that the persecution of Christians would end under his rulership of Rome, fostering an era of peace. Their encounter elevated the soldiers' spirits, and as Constantine departed to scrutinize the remainder of his military encampment, the soldiers joyously exchanged reflections on their meeting with the emperor. With evening upon him, an exhausted Constantine retreated to his pavilion, engaging in an extended consultation with his generals. Reports confirmed the rapid progress of preparations for the impending battle, plans formulated, equipment inspected, horses readied, and roles clearly defined. As the meeting concluded, the sun had already dipped below the horizon. The camp's expanse shimmered in the glow of numerous torches and campfires, soldiers partaking in their evening meals. Night descended, and though wearied, Constantine could not rest within the confines of his pavilion. The night preceding battle, an inherently restless one, weighed heavily on his mind. His conversation with Alexander Orestes had lingered in his mind, prompting Constantine to revisit the peaceful mound hidden in the woods. Navigating the camp and bypassing shrines where priests silently amassed tributes left by soldiers, venturing into the woods, he ascended the mound. In the serene clearing, the wind gently stirred the tree canopies, and the moonlit cross stood as the focal point. Constantine, seeking solitude, knelt by the mossy stone, hands clasped like his mother's. Lowering his head, he prayed in the quiet of the night. Mighty God, ruler of heaven and earth, in uncertainty, I seek guidance for the path ahead. In the vast night sky, where stars shimmer as your creations, illuminate my way. Grant me wisdom to lead justly, strength to overcome adversity, and clarity to discern your will. In this moment, I surrender earthly concerns to your providence. May your divine light pierce doubt's darkness and reveal the course aligning with your purpose. Guide me through leadership challenges, bringing harmony to this empire under your watchful gaze. I trust in your infinite mercy and wisdom, praying for a sign affirming the righteous path. Let your will be done, and may my actions reflect your divine plan's glory. After praying, Constantine surveyed the tranquil surroundings. The encompassing darkness was pierced by the radiant cross glowing in unceasing blue light from the sky. Above the trees, amid the stars, an unexpected sight awaited him. Roman letters, chi and rho intertwined, forming a luminous cross. Beneath it, an inscription, in hoc signo vinces, in this sign you will conquer. Bewildered, Constantine observed this miraculous spectacle, the symbol etching itself into his mind. Mesmerized, he reclined, fixated on the night sky, where the stars were outshone by this celestial marvel. The passion, sparked by the vision of this fateful night, had shook him to the core and persuaded his soul to ignite with purpose, now so clear and obvious. Every twist of fate in his life seemed to converge upon this singular moment. Tonight, he was destined to bear witness to an unfathomable and miraculous revelation that now danced within the recesses of his mind. The trajectory of the Roman Empire, entangled with the cross, exuding love and mercy, illuminated the path forward, a new epoch, a new century, where the lives of both the great and the humble would no longer be dictated by figurines and tributes to invisible deities, but by a tangible church, a palpable faith, a visible manifestation of the invisible God that bestowed salvation and freedom. Seated in solitary contemplation, bewildered yet emboldened by the unveiled vision, Constantine reflected upon his newfound calling in life. As the clouds of the night sky veiled the celestial sign, he gradually returned to the realm of earthly reality. The imperative of his mission crystallized in his mind, and with the impending dawn over the Roman Empire, he had understood that the forthcoming light would not emanate from Sol Invictus, but from the boundless love of the miraculous Son of God, who was hanged on the cross for the sins of all.